From Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Ring on the host. Here is Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Maybe one day you will get a longer cord here, Ryan. I mean, my goodness. I'm always pulling out the plug. Who is that in the background?
Just a little jazz.
Little jazz, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Good
Jazz,
morning,
your
Chef Michael.
mother. What?
Good morning, Chef Michael.
Good morning, Mrs. Goldstein. How are you?
Mrs. Goldstein. What do you mean, Mrs. Goldstein?
Are you light a rose for
Hey,
Moline?
listen,
Light a rose.
listen.
I am home again, Rose.
Hey, you know, we've got a special guest here today.
Who is
He's
he?
one of our family here at KLAV Lotus Broadcasting.
Get out. Who is he?
Yeah, it's Rich Natoli.
Hey,
Hi,
Richie,
Rich. How are you?
baby.
It's nice to be one of the family.
Well, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I had the pleasure of meeting Rich a few weeks ago, and he represents a newspaper here in Las Vegas.
No names to be mentioned.
Well, I can mention them. We can mention them kids because I'll just buy them out. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
The Vegas, I got more money than them, and that's why they're worried.
Yeah, but then you said you were going to, instead of calling it the Vegas Voice, you were going to call it the Arrogant Ear or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
what the
something
hell.
like that.
Anyway,
Now, don't you buy out the Vegas Voice. You talking to me? Because I'm talking to you, huh?
Anyway, I talked to this kid, and I
Scoot
said,
closer, Richie.
I got to
Come on
tell
in.
you something.
Come on, scoot in.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you,
There you go.
throughout my career, I had the pleasure of meeting not too many impersonators. And me and him sat down one day and we talked because, you know, I knew Rich Little. Rich Little opened my show when I was in Lake Havasu back in 1990.
It was a very
Could
good
I finish?
year.
Jesus, God. So anyway, Richie did a great job. But I got to tell you, there's not too many people left outside of Frank Gorshin.
Do you go by Richie also?
You know, my cousins call me that.
Rich, I'm sorry.
Rich.
I
No, Rich
apologize.
is what I go by. But, you know, it's
No,
okay.
you were talking
But
about
everybody
Richie, the
from the
other
Northeast calls me Richie for
Yeah.
some
Well, that's an Italian thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And anyway,
Hey, Richie.
Yo, Richie.
so anyway,
yo.
he's over there doing the
Hey,
show.
buddy.
And he had a guest. I don't want to mention the guy's name. But anyway, he started doing some impressions, and it really blew me away. And we start talking. And one thing about this radio show, ladies and gentlemen, that we're so happy to say, and I always say it, and I boastfully say it, we're the #1 radio show in Las Vegas.
Boastfully,
right?
Yes, he definitely is.
Nobody
boastful
listens
about
to
it.
the. I mean, we got the #1 stay. Everybody listens to this channel, and now we went television, and we're going national, which is phenomenal. And I've been very blessed
We're
next
going
week
national. I can't believe it. I'm so excited.
to tell my story on national
It's
television.
going to cost us billions.
Well, whatever.
Carl, we need to talk.
Yeah, no, forget
Right
it.
here on our Hue, we're going national, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, a national phenomenon.
You know what? I think they really should have another art link letter.
What's that?
Or Ed Sullivan.
You mean Ed Sullivan. Yeah, Art Linkletter. No, they should. They really. Do we really need
Do Art
another Ed
Linkletter.
Sullivan?
Can you do Art
We never-
Linkletter?
You know,
No, is he distinct? I've never. Art
No, Art
Linkletter.
Linkletter
That's
was
like-
I don't
that's
know.
like
Why
pe-
did I think of Art Linkletter?
That's like people
then,
yelling
instead of Ed
out,
Sullivan?
"Do Lassie."
Do Lassie.
Do the bird on Beretta.
Anyway, getting back to what I was telling you. This kid's got a show
more
here.
like
Your show's every.
Yeah, we do Monday and Tuesday, and then Ryan and I do a show together on Fridays called Anything Goes in the World of Entertainment. We do a co-hosting show on Friday afternoon.
The kid's dying to get into show
You
business.
do?
He's in show business. He's a great host.
He is. He did
How
a
many
great
times?
job
How
for
many
us.
times? You're on Monday, Tuesday afternoon.
Monday, Tuesday morning from 10:30 to
Morning.
11.
Right after
and then,
us, yeah.
And then
Yeah,
Friday
yeah.
afternoon with Anything Goes with Ryan from 1 to 2 with Ryan Silva.
Oh.
And you know, and get back to what I was telling you. And one thing about him, he has all guests also as well. And when I seen his talent, I said to him yesterday, I said, "Listen, Rich, I want to have you on the show." You know what I mean? Because it's important that our listeners know of a lot of great talent. Because sometimes, you know, people that listen to him might not listen to me, and people that listen to us might not listen to you.
What about
so I
me?
said, well, I'm saying you too, Sam. But excuse
You
me.
know, it's all about Michael.
Hey, my kids
You know,
don't
I
even
hear him
listen
talking
to me.
to everybody. He says, "That's my show. I'm going to be on TV. I'm on TV. I'm on this. I'm on that." I said, "What about me?"
Anyway, getting back to what I was telling you, folks. This goes a pain in my ass. So anyway, getting back to what I was telling you, the guys are just a tremendous.
This from the kid who never wanted to be on TV.
This guy's a tremendous talent. He's very, very good in
Yes.
what he does, and you know, and hopefully, you know, once we get our supper club, and I ain't going to pay no $4 a square foot.
Supper
That's
Club,
what's-
that's right.
That's right. We didn't forget that, Alex Yanka. We've been looking, you know, because here's the bottom line: people open up, and you got a $25,000, $30,000 a month, payment for your rent, and you're going to charge $197 for additional linguine white clam sauce.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why these restaurants shut down. They want to charge $14, $15 for a drink.
drink.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is we find the place, the money's right, the food is right, the entertainment's right, and then what we'll do is Monday night, we'll do comedy night. We're having, it ain't just 7 nights of me and Sandy singing. It'd have country, the best
Gosh,
of
I
doo-wop.
hope
We
not.
got John Lindquist, who's got a tremendous doo-wop band. Give John a night,
Maybe
Doo-wop.
some comedy and impressions. Maybe
well,
some
yes,
50s.
comedy and impressions, stuff like that. And I have, like I said, I have the opportunity
What, is
of
Ryan doing
repres-
impressions now too?
Yeah, he does.
Ryan does a few.
What do you do,
Really?
Ryan?
Who do you
buddy?
do?
Ryan does a few.
Get that microphone in front of you.
He does a
Ryan?
chicken. What do you do?
See,
Ryan-
we're
no,
putting you
Ryan
on the
does-
All right,
spot.
Greg, what
He's
do you
such
do?
a shy
Do
guy.
a couple, Ryan.
Well, now that you're putting me on the spot,
No, sorry.
John Lindquist says that I have a very good James Mason that I didn't even
Yes,
know was
let's
a James
do
Mason.
James
Let's hear Mason.
Jonathan James Lindquist, you truly are the cat's light if there ever was one.
That was all right. It was.
I don't even know who James Mason is, to be
Yeah,
honest.
James
He's too young to
Mason?
know
I
James
can't
Mason.
remember either.
Well, James Mason was in A Star Was Born with.
Oh, James Mason.
Right.
It's Mason.
That's James
I
Mason?
remember.
Yes.
See, I
Well, Sandy,
remember.
I'm a lot older than you. So
No. I watched the film.
Thank you, thank you.
They,
Let's get down and get funky. 2, 3, 4.
James Mason was with The Stars Born.
what about Wolfman Jack?
Just a minute.
Hey, this is the Wolf Band. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
What happened to him? That fat bastard. He died.
Yeah, he died. He
They
died.
took
We
him to
watched-
chicken
Hey,
wings.
Speaking of-
was a fat bastard, but I'm dead now.
We watched The Wolfman last night. Not
good.
The Wolfman
The
Jack,
Wolfman.
though. No, we watched Wolfman. That was with Anthony
Hopkins.
Hopkins. Oh my gosh! And who's the other guy? The guy with the dark hair. Benicio del Toro. Oh my gosh!
He was good.
This is kind of a weird. That was a weird version of
You know
that
what's got
movie.
me
Ugh.
aggravated? I got to tell you the truth.
What? What's got you
Is
aggravated?
watching all these people are interested in watching, ladies and gentlemen, zombies.
Oh my gosh! I
Yeah.
can't stand the
The
zombies.
and I say to myself, why would people
Ugh.
want to watch? But I tell
Gives
you,
me the creeps.
for me and Sandy, we like sci. I go from one extreme to another. It's sci-fi movies or Christmas movies.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
can watch Scrooge.
Or the Weather Channel.
I love the Weather
He
Channel.
loves the Weather Channel.
I love the
You
Weather
like the
Channel.
Weather-
And you
I
know
like
what's kind
watching
of
the snow
interesting?
and
You
You
know-
stuff.
like to watch the same guy on the news in Los Angeles during the mudslides when his house goes down the hill in Malibu and he goes, my house, it went down the hill again. It's like, buddy, this happens every year. Why don't you move out of Malibu?
They don't move. They don't move.
No.
They just
Same
rebuild.
guy every year.
They rebuild. Yeah.
Well, you know something? I talked to Jimmy Melodor this morning, that dirty son of
Jimmy Mullador,
and I
the
said, Jimmy,
legendary
Don't get me started
saxophonist.
about Jimmy Melodor. Who's Jimmy Melodor?
who's Jimmy
What do you mean?
Melodor?
He's a legendary,
Jimmy.
iconic saxophonist
Jimmy's a-
who is going to be playing at the Smith Center on February the 26th, and we're going to be joining him there.
Yeah, and we're going to have a lot
7
of fun.
p.m.
And I'm going to do the flight of the bumblebee. I'm going to open up the show.
He's
just
going to
bust
flitter
us home.
away. Are you going to flitter away?
I'm going to flitter away, the flight of the bumblebee, and I want to sing "If I Was a Rich Man."
So,
in the
Richie.
key of G.
So Richie, otherwise known as Rich.
Yes.
Rizzo.
Natoli. Natoli.
Oh, you're
Hey,
Italian?
how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm full-blooded. I'm enough Italian to be a made guy. Full-blooded, 100%.
Are you really? But what's your
both-
pie is?
What do you mean
My
you're
father's
enough to be a
My
made
father's
guy?
Sicilian. My mother was Napolitan.
You know the difference, honey? You know the difference? What he's talking
ahead.
about? No, go ahead.
One
No, I
carries a
don't.
revolver, the other
Carry a knife.
carries a
Now,
knife.
you had to be in the movie, not Casino, but the
Been
Goodfellas.
taken over by mobsters.
Goodfellas.
Hey, Goodfellas.
You mean with Joe Pesci? Huh? I'm over here. I'm talking to you. You're saying, what are you saying? I'm a clown? Like I amuse you? Like I'm your personal
Like,
clown?
how do I amuse
You told me
you?
to get my shine box. You did. You told me to get my shine box. I'm gonna kill you, you big son of...
Now, you insulted him. You did. I heard you.
That was a great movie. You know what? The reason why that, believe it or not, Robert De Niro in the movie was never a made man, because he was half.
That's right.
He wasn't full-blooded Italian in the movie.
Right.
You're talking about Casino?
No.
No, not Casino.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, because he was Jewish in Casino, right? He was a Jewish guy in Casino.
He played.
Yeah, he played a Jewish
He was a
guy.
Jewish guy.
What was his
Yes,
name? The
yes,
guy who
yeah.
got
he was
blown
a
up.
Jewish guy.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my God! It's on the tip of my. John Lindquist, if you're listening, who's the guy that got blown up? In the
He's right there.
John Lefty Rosenthal. Thank you, John.
Lefty Rosenthal.
Lefty Rosenthal.
Yes, that's right.
You know, he's still living.
Yes.
I thought he got blown up.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing saved him, it was, if I'm not mistaken, the 1984 Cadillac that he had, there was a plate. A metal plate that they put under that.
Oh,
or
it
that
saved him?
That's what saved
Now,
him.
you're talking Goodfellas or Casino in this?
Casino.
Okay, now that was outside the steakhouse, right? That was outside. Was that Tony Roma's or what?
Tony Roma's. That was the place that was there. It was just incredible. It was, but that was the day. Let me ask you a question, if I may ask.
Yeah.
You. How old are you?
Go ahead, ask him a question. I wouldn't want to ask him a
I'm
question.
the
Heaven
5-0.
forbid.
Little
Are you
over
really?
The 5-0.
Are you
Yes, I
50?
am. I'm over.
God bless you. I would have never took you for that.
No, thank you.
I thought you were in your 30s. I'm not kidding.
Get out of
No, I'm
here.
serious.
Really?
I would have never took you for that. It was like a kid.
Well, no, Ryan's in his 30s. No, Ryan's in his 20s.
Ryan makes coffee nervous. No, I can.
And I just celebrated my 40th birthday.
Oh, yes.
Again.
Huh? You look young. She looks like
Sandy's a doll.
she's 30 years old.
Oh, yeah.
I get that all the time with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you see the one thing about radio, we can't see that beautiful bling. Show
But
the,
you
show
can
the
put it
camera.
on the,
show
yeah.
the camera. Look at that.
Yeah, he
Listen,
shows it all the time.
I think
That's right.
Liberace had a garage sale.
Yeah.
And we
Got it?
picked up a little trinket there. Look at the bling. Look at the bling bling.
It's Cuban zirconian, isn't it? Yeah.
Your ass was a coming. Anyway, well, it's funny. It's Sandy was so gracious, and it was a beautiful Christmas present. We went to the
I
store.
got the Cracker Jack box, the big one. I invested in the big Cracker Jack box, and their gifts are, as you see, tremendous.
They're big,
Yes,
but I can't play the drums with it.
Now you have to take
I
it
gotta
off.
take it off.
He's got to take
Because
it
I
off.
cracked this, the one that she gave me here. There's a chip out of it.
Yeah.
Because when you play, you don't realize.
Can they fix that? I wonder if they can
No,
fix it.
I tried.
gotta
They
replace the
they gotta
stone.
replace the whole stone.
You can't just glue it back.
talking jewelry here, babe.
Yeah, jewelry, and it ain't a costume either.
Ryan's going, just don't make me do any more impressions, okay?
Richie,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. Do you feel as though at
Yes.
the time things have changed now for impersonators?
The world, it's a different time now. I mean, I've said this. I've said this to many performers. I said it to Marty Allen when he was on my show, that I would have loved to have come up in the era Marty Allen came up in, because I just think that was a better time for us. You had. What's good about it's bad about it. Now you get all these cable channels, all these things. So that's progress. That's all good. But when they had 3 networks, you got noticed faster.
Right.
When you did a show, you had your art form was more specialized. It wasn't saturated like it is today.
No, because I remember, if I'm not mistaken, there was like 3-4 guys. One guy that was great, he did Nixon. In fact, he committed suicide. He
Was that David Fry? Did
David
he kill
Fry?
himself?
Oh my
I think, yeah. Thank you for
God.
saying that, David Fry, and then the guy that physically got into character.
No, that was
into
Gorshin.
Gorshin.
He was the best at that.
But the
Gorshin.
key was Sammy Davis, because Sammy was black doing white impersonators.
Well, so did George
well-
Kirby. Remember George Kirby?
Remember Kirby? Yeah, he went to prison. He got in trouble.
Yeah, I think what George Kirby had. I think what happened with him is he developed this big gambling debt. And so he was making great
Remember
money
Kirby?
as an act. Then he got into really big gambling
George
debts. So he
Kirby.
started selling cocaine.
Right, that's what it was.
Because he
Yeah,
was
that's
working
what it
for
was.
nothing for the hotel guys. And,
Oh, my
And then he
gosh.
got busted and he went away. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
and he
If you're
never
just
made a
tuning in
comeback.
now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show, but you wouldn't know it today. But we've got Chef Michael and Rich
Chef Michael.
Natoli. We'll be right back after a quick message from our sponsors.
Don't touch that
Stay
dial,
tuned.
lady. Don't touch that dial.
More interviews, more recipes, more fun. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Today we've got Rich Natoli, and also on the phone we've got Santo Savino. Hi, Santo. How are you?
Hi, how you doing? I'm fine.
Good. Are you up? Are you
Yes,
awake?
I am. I've been up since 5.
Really? Oh, okay. So you're not one of those that stays up late and then can't get up in the
No,
morning?
actually, I go to bed pretty early. I get up to walk my dog at 5 o'clock.
Oh, you and Michael. He gets up to walk the dog.
Who's on the phone?
Santo
Wait,
Savino.
Is this Chef Michael?
Yeah, it's me.
I heard you were gunning for me.
Yeah, I'm gunning for you. I heard you want to do a battle with the master of disaster.
Oh,
the king
my
of
gosh.
You got that right.
Steve. Oh, man, you wait till I get you in the ring. Boy, I'm going to whoop on you.
Hey, yo, I'll tell you what. I'll set up the stadium. You bring the boxing gloves. Hey, you know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something who's on the phone. Santo Savino is one of the greatest drummers. There's only a handful of guys left in the world that were great. Buddy Rich was one of them. Gene Krupa, Cozy Cole, Max Roach. All right. Now, there's some names I just said. People say, who?
Max Roach.
Yeah, it was great. Remember Santo?
Yeah, I sure do.
And Santos Savino, I had the pleasure of, he filled in for me when we played this place. And I tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, I never had the pleasure of playing with Gene Krupa or Buddy Rich. But this gentleman here played with Frank Sinatra. He played with the best of the best of the best. And when you get on the stage with a man that is ultimately phenomenal, okay, and he goes toe-to-toe with somebody a few years younger than him, you got to have nothing but the respect, because I got to tell you, he did a show with us at Canyon Gate, Sandy and I, and we did a tribute to Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich.
Right, with the Dick Kastel Orchestra.
The Dick Kastel Orchestra. And this guy kept up with me like you would not believe. The average drummer doesn't have the speed, the tenacity. They don't have the rhythmic beats like to really swing. It's a lot of just smashing cymbals, and drumming is a whole nother ball game. You got 4 parts of your body that you're moving: your left hand, your right hand, your left foot, your right foot. And you know what I mean? And it's combinations. And years ago, I used to be a professional fighter. I was a boxer. I was very good in what I did. Thank you. And what happened is that you really got to know your craft.
The greatest fighter of all time.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Santos Savino it's a pleasure to have him. And we are doing a tribute to bring back Buddy Rich and Gene Krupa. And the reason why I chose Buddy Rich and Gene Krupa, because, I'm very blessed to have this on my hands, to have the speed. But Santos Savino, his percussion is phenomenal. His moves are great. And working with this guy, folks, it's such a blessing and a pleasure, because we just give so much inspiration. It's like when Joe Louis got in a ring with Marciano. You know what I mean? It was just a great, great time, even though he got knocked through the ropes, and it was a different type of an era at that time. Santos Savino is a true champion. He's a true great performer, and I'm going to tell you something. There's not too many guys that could stay up in the ring with me. I'm telling you.
Are you blushing, Santo?
Listen, this is the greatest thing I ever heard.
I'm being honest with you, because you know how I am. Jimmy will tell I'm very opinionated. I'll put up $100,000. It's not a drummer that Ryan Rose. I love that kid. Ryan keeps up. Ryan's okay. He's good. There's a handful of guys out there that'll step in a ring with me. And I'm saying it metaphorically. Half these drummers out here, they don't have no time. They cannot play. Okay, they think they can play, they can't. They're not even time drummers. And when they take their solos, it doesn't say nothing. There's no substance in what they do.
Tell us what you really think.
Well, I'm telling you like it is. So with Santos Savino, and we go off each other,
right,
and I'll do a 4 or I'll do something, and Santo will play. I say, come on, boy, talk to me. And I'll go back and forth. There's such a magic, because what happens is I had a couple of my spotters in the audience, because when we're playing, I can't see the crowd. And I'd say, tell me what the audience sees and what they were saying. They said, Mike, when you and Santo did that show, and you guys did that solo, he says every person in that audience had their eyes peeled on both you guys. Nobody talked, nobody drank.
No, that's right. Right.
And that's the key. That's the key. And Santo, I want you to know, I know I tease you and I joke with you. I say, bring him on. It is a blessing and a pleasure to have a true champion in the ring with a true champion.
Well,
and I love you for that.
I'm really looking forward to it, Mike.
I love that.
And I think somebody's trying to get a word in.
We play together.
This is Iron Mike Tyson. I'm the true champion. I'm the people's champion. Yeah, this man sitting next to me is a character assassin. He's assassinating my character.
Don't listen to him. He's full S.H.I., this kid.
Champion.
But anyway, Santo, that's what I wanted to, I'm glad that you called and that you came in. I was trying to get you on the television show. Peter Pavone took your spot last night at the show, because this week you'll see we're on Keen Television. And we're so blessed and honored that we're going national, which is really great. And the best thing about this is that it's a Christian program. It's a Christian channel. And I, there's a lot of people, naturally I got to be careful, what I say, because there's a whole different viewing audience that's there. But the fun that we had.
Yeah, you don't want to tell anybody to go to hell on that Christian show.
No. But I got to tell you, Dale Davidson, who's the guy he's the head honcho. He loves it. He loved what we did, and he watched. And I said to him yesterday. I said, "Did I say anything wrong?" He said, "Mike, I'm telling you." He said, "I never seen two people, you and Sandy, so spontaneous. Because if you wrote me a script, I'm going to bomb. I got to go from the top of my head. I just got to say what I got to say." But anyway, Santo, we want you to know that Sandy and I love you. We're so happy that we're going to perform together. The show's almost sold out. I talked to Jimmy this morning. You know what I mean? I said, "Jimmy, don't worry about it.
You got to get your tickets, folks. You got to call in the Smith Center box office. They open at 10 a.m. this morning.
All right. And I'm going to tell you, folks, you're going to see a tribute to bring back two great drummers through Santo Savino and Mike Leonetti. It's a blessing and a pleasure, and I love you, Santo, and I'm honored to step in the ring with you. You know what I'm trying to say to you, because at the end of the bout, we're both going to win the belt.
But somebody's going to be missing an ear.
Or two. Well, thank you so much, Santo.
Okay, feelings mutual here.
Really looking forward to being there and performing with you at the Smith Center. That is on February the 26th at 7 p.m. Call the Smith Center now, because they are booking up tickets, because we've had people calling in and they're saying, well, they're already putting me in the back of the room. So anyway, call in right away. The box office opens at 10 a.m. this morning. And that's called the Jimmy Molador Jazz Show. Right. He's got jazz for all ages, okay? And we'll be joined by Paris Red, Michael Leonetti, and myself. Okay, we'll see you there.
Thanks.
Thank you, Santo.
So long, Mike. So long.
All right, bye, John.
Sandy. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
What a great guy. And you know what's funny about that kid? He played with the greatest. The greatest. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, when I came into Vegas, I was 1974, I was in my 20s. Mm-hmm. And if I had the opportunity to play with like Louis Prima or Sinatra.
It's awesome.
It was, what I looked at as a kid, that's what I seen.
It's amazing. To be able to work with the greats like that is amazing. I mean, that's where you learn. That's where you learn.
So, speaking of working with the greats, who did you work with, Rich?
I've worked with tons of celebrities. Pretty much everybody in comedy, from Jay Leno to Jerry Seinfeld. I've worked with all of them. Pretty much every comedian that you've seen on TV. Ray Romano, Brad Garrett. I've worked with all those guys.
Real quick, when we went on break, you mentioned something to me about the.
America's Got Talent show?
And Sandy wanted you to
tell that story. Yeah, I was on America's Got Talent in the second season when Regis left and the host was Jerry Springer, and I was one of the first acts on the first show. Terry Fader won that year, came in later in the season, but my experience on there was not good. I went on there. I did as good as anyone could possibly do. I came out and I opened. I knew people loved Regis. And I knew that if I came out and opened with Regis, 550 people would go crazy.
Right.
So I opened the show. What they do is they tell you, describe what you do, and then this microphone comes up out of the ground, right? Like with the stand. And then you step back and you go into your show, right? And you've got a certain amount of time. Not very much time, but anyway. So the first thing I said was, "This is Regis Philbin, and it's great to be back on America's Got Talent with the Hoff." Hasselhoff. And the people went crazy. So it was one of those things where now the place went crazy. Now I'm basically it's just a surreal moment because everything seems to be going in slow motion, and I'm looking around and I see Hasselhoff and he's rocking back and forth laughing. It was one of those really strange moments, and I look and the audience is just going nuts because they loved Regis and they loved the voice, right? So now I look at the two judges who aren't from this country.
Who were they? Do you remember?
It was Sharon Osbourne and that Piers Morgan creepo guy. Okay, who never says anything nice about anybody. Now I'm looking at them. They're looking at me like they want to kill me. And so now,
really?
Okay, so now I go into the next piece I do all the presidents doing a verse of the national anthem. I start with Kennedy, "Oh, I say, can you see by the dawn's early light?" And I go down the list, and I literally got three voices down, and the foreigners are hitting a buzzer on me. Now, after I got the kind of response I got from Regis, and the people were loving the presidents, but I just got into the president, didn't get more than three voices in, and they're hitting the buzzer. Now, here's where I messed up. Hasselhoff never hit me at buzzer. The show was only on one season before that. I watched the show one time, and I must have been in the bathroom when they made the announcement, you need 3 buzzers to be dead, or you're still alive.
Right.
I stopped my set.
Oh, because you thought you were done.
I thought I was
Oh,
dead.
you
Now,
thought you were done.
now after 2 buzzers, I stopped my set. Now, when the way I really screwed myself there is when it went to editing, they couldn't do anything with it
'Cause you'd already
because I
stopped.
stopped the set.
Right.
So but after I stopped,
They let you start
after
again.
the 2 buzzers, after those 2 people buzzed me, the crowd booed them. They were booing the people for buzzing me. I don't even think the audience knew that I was dead, that I wasn't dead or whatever. So I stopped, and so that's what happened. And then this Piers Morgan guy and I said a couple things back and forth, and the crowd booed him again, and that was basically it. But then now when I went back to the hotel, the little country girl singer, who was about 12 or 14 years old, terrific, because I
Yeah.
watched her in rehearsal, she was dynamite. Well, evidently she was on after me. Now I went back to the hotel, the Sheraton Universal, right in LA. So I get back to the hotel and I see her crying. And the mother is standing there. I said, "What's the matter?" And the mother says, "You don't know? She was on after you. Did you not see what happened?" I said, "No." She said, "Piers Morgan was really rude to her, made her cry, insulted a little girl, and she was terrific. No, she was no talent. This girl was really good because I watched her in rehearsal, and this guy made her cry and said nasty things to her." And I said, I got down on my knees, I talked to her, and I said, "Don't ever let a guy like that stop you from your dream." I said, "He's not anybody, but he was that kind of a person," which I thought, what do you want a guy like that judging talent in our, in America?
Right. So you never went. Did you ever go back?
No, I never went back because you know what? I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like that contest experience.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me because comedy and what we do as an art form, you can't judge a comedy impressionist against a dancer, against a ventriloquist, against a magician. Everybody is good at what they do. You can't say Rich Little isn't as good as Don Rickles or Bill Cosby. Everybody does their
They're
thing.
unique.
It's
They're
different.
unique and
yeah, you
different.
can't judge a Picasso against a Rembrandt.
Right.
They're both great works.
That's right.
And so that's why I'm not a fan of the contest thing.
Right. Well, anyway, if you're just tuning in now, that was Rich.
Rich
Natoli.
Natoli. Right.
I want to make sure I say it right each time. That's why I have little notes here. But anyway, that was Rich Natoli and sharing his experience on America's Got Talent. That's interesting. Very interesting. And if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. And Chef, are we going to get a recipe from you? Maybe Rich will tell you his favorite Italian
Yeah, baby.
recipe. Anyway, we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
A lady doesn't leave her escort. It isn't fair.
Everybody's a winner. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. We are here with Rich Natoli. Hi, Rich. How you doing?
No, you talking to me, huh?
Well, you know who we got on the phone? You know who we got on the phone right now? We have Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold, buddy, how are you?
No, I didn't know
What are you
that.
talking about? My character's name is James Brewer. That's something that I always got a kick out about Arnold Schwarzenegger. He had the most American names no matter what role he had. Like he was John Matrix in the movie Collateral Damage. Like, yeah, are you Nazi?
Thank you, Brian. You're a
I
good
am
kid.
here, Turbo Mans.
They wanted him to change his dialect. They wanted him to go to school. You know who they did that to? Was what's the guy's name who played Bond? Sandy, the original guy.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Right. They says you need to change your accent. Won't work in Hollywood.
But you see, here's the thing. When I went to acting school,
Right.
the teacher would she would tell these different actors that had these unique qualities. Well, you can't do that, and you can't do that. You can't do this and you can't do that. I'll tell you a story Wayne Newton told me, and this is what makes people special as actors is the fact that they are different.
And unique.
Wayne Newton told me, he said,
One time I was doing an episode of Bonanza, and he said, and next door they were filming a Western, and it was Robert Mitchum, it was John Wayne, and Walter Brennan was the other guy. Walter Brennan, Jim, and he said, and then the catering truck came, and they all broke for lunch. And as they were walking towards the catering truck, he said, from behind, I could tell you who each one of these guys was by the way they walked.
Sure.
That's what made them special. See, Walter Brennan was hopping, John Wayne was doing his walk, right? And so, but in acting class, they would say, "Oh, you have a speech impediment to one guy. You can't do that." What are you talking about? Humphrey Bogart had a speech impediment. Jimmy Stewart couldn't even put together a sentence. Yeah, but he did fine. Yeah.
Good. See what I mean? That's great talent. Great talent. Good. Sandy's got a million questions for you.
Yeah, Sandy.
No, I have none.
I feel like Walter Brennan. God bless you, Luke. I'm hopping out of my chair here.
That's great. How did you get started doing voices?
Oh, me? I started in school, you know. I started doing impressions of teachers. That's how I started, really. Yeah, because
you got a lot of trouble then.
I got bored in school a lot, so I'd see these teachers with these unique voices, and I'd start doing their voice, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how I.
Well, so now where are you working now?
Well, I do. I do a lot of corporate events, and I bebop my show all over. We do all kinds of variety shows in town. Actually, with the Vegas Voice, we do a lot of variety shows in town, and then I do the corporate events. And every Friday night, 6 p.m., I MC the All Shook Up show at Planet Hollywood V Theater.
Oh, when did you start doing that?
Oh, I've been doing that for a few months now. So I do it every Friday night at 6 o'clock. I MC that.
Michael, who's on
with
the phone?
Elvis there. Thank you very much.
It was my attorney.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They going to let you stay out?
Yeah.
You're taking
I
lawyer.
appreciate that.
You're taking lawyer phone calls on the air there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I got my attorney on, too. Yeah. Different kind of attorney.
Well, you mentioned food. Sandy
Yeah, I
wanted me
love.
to,
Now, listen, I'm Italian, so my mother took a lot of those recipes to the grave with her, unfortunately. But eggplant Parmesan, that's mine.
Didn't you watch her when you were a kid?
I did, but I'm not really a cook. I mean,
You
I'm
didn't
not
pick
like
that
a
up.
Chef Michael here.
Yeah. Well, he watched his grandmother.
Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
how
his
you learn,
mother,
you know.
It was his grandmother that he watched.
I was very fortunate to be. I had a photogenic memory. I can watch you one time.
Yeah.
And I got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
So she,
You know?
so she made all the real stuff. Yeah, the Italians make the real stuff, man.
You know, I was telling Sandy when in one of the shows that we did with Smiths, I lived in an Italian neighborhood in South Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. Everybody was Italian. The priest, the nuns, the people in your neighborhood was all Italians.
Yeah.
On Sunday, everybody cooked the same thing. We called it gravy back there.
Yeah,
You
that's
mentioned
right.
gravy
My mother
here.
called it that. Yeah, gravy, meat, and all that
Right,
stuff.
you
yeah.
say gravy here, it's
They don't
brown
know-
gravy.
they don't know
right.
what they're talking about,
But
yeah.
we'll say sauce for those that are from the West Coast.
Right.
And I want to tell you something, Rich. No matter what house you walked into, everybody made braciole, meatballs,
Yeah.
raviolis, pasta. Every sauce tasted different. Every meatball tasted different. It was
Yeah.
incredible how each neighbor cooked. It was all fabulous. And in our neighborhood, we would go in each other's houses. And I had a big fight with Frank Sabella. I got him in a headlock because I said that my grandmother's meatballs were better than his mother's.
Yeah. Well, that's an insult in Italian.
Well, yeah, it was. But I got to tell you, Michelina, God rest her soul, that was the mother's name. And Sandy, she passed away. I would have made you meet her. I used to eat with them on the weekends.
Yeah.
Nobody cooked like that old lady. And she had a little busted wooden spoon. You know, and I'm sorry that I never watched how she made that stuff because when I went, the food was done.
You're saying her meatballs are better than mine, huh? You're saying that I'm...
meatballs were the best.
She's the personal meatball clown? Is that what you're telling me?
Something
huh?
like that. Well, you know what she
Hey,
did.
listen, didn't you do a movie that was Kick Your Mom Off the Bus or something? What, Mama?
Was he
that
in?
off
Was
the
Pesci
train?
in? Throw Mama from the
Well,
train?
who was
I don't
that?
think so.
That was
Danny DeVito.
yeah, that was
Danny DeVito.
Oh! I love Danny DeVito. Did you watch? I love all the Christmas movies, right? Did you watch?
Love 'em.
Do you
I love
love how about the one where he says,
All my life, I wanted that one thing. The lights, Bob. It's the lights. I want my house to be seen from space.
All characters. You know, can I ask a question, Sandy, to this fine gentleman? It's just off the top of my head.
Now I'm a fine gentleman. I'm Johnny Carson. I'm a fine
You
gentleman.
know, on a lot
Johnny was
on
the
a-
best.
He was. And a lot of radio stations, you know, they try to be politically correct. Me, I'm off the cuff. What bothers you in the entertainment business today?
you know what?
mentioned something about
I
the
could tell
TV
you.
shows.
I don't even have to think about it. I could tell you what bothers me. What bothers me about the entertainment industry is that more people don't help each other. That's what bothers me.
Okay.
Is that the people that go through their struggle and then they get a break, they become big, they become rich.
And they forget about everybody else.
If I had a nickel for every time a celebrity said to me, hey, Rich, you're one of the best I've ever seen. Good luck to you. It's like, well, I don't need luck. I need a phone call. Can you call someone to give me an opportunity?
Right.
That's what I mean. So what I try to do is give people exposure on my little level that I'm on.
Right.
I try to help, as much as I can, because I think that's important. I think you can change people's lives by making a phone call. Why wouldn't you do it?
Right.
It doesn't take anything away from you.
Well, here's a prime example. Jimmy Mellodor, Smith Center.
Yeah.
Okay. Last time he was there, sold out capacity 2 nights in a row. All right. Didn't have to call us. He doesn't need us to do that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
We're completely different than what he does.
Right.
Okay. I'm a different kind of singer. I'm swing, not jazz. You know what I mean? Completely different. But yet Jimmy decided to put something together to give an audience substance. And when I says, to announce, I hired John Lindquist.
Yeah.
Who better than John?
Oh, yeah, the best
Who better
voice,
than John? It's a shame there's not a Bob Barker anymore, because them guys get 6 figures a year to say, come on down.
Oh, John could do that better than those guys.
John Lindquist is ultimately, first of all, he should have been an actor. The guy's 6'4", good-looking kid. He reminds me of, what's that gay guy who died? Rock Hudson.
Remember that gay guy who died?
I forgot his name.
You're starting to sound like Dad. The girl with the bug eyes,
For
Linda
a second,
Ronstadt,
I thought you were going to say Truman Capote.
No. But John is a handsome. He's if I had to come back in a second life.
I'm gonna watch it, Michael.
If I came back in a second life, I would want to look like him. And the guy's 6'4".
Rock Hudson?
No, John Lindquist. The guy should have been a model. The guy,
oh, he is.
And I got to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. For the time that we've been here, he is the nicest man I have ever. I'm telling you, because we put this guy through some
production
crap.
manager too.
I'm telling you, unbelievable the stuff that we did.
He takes
John,
care of all of us. Make sure that we're
people come in,
listen to,
and he does. What do you need? What do you need, Mike? Sandy, what do you want? He's just incredible. He makes us feel great.
Well, that's why he does what
he
does.
And I'm so pleased to have him a part of this
absolutely
show.
Absolutely.
Thank you, John. I know you're listening.
But yeah, that's why we're having him do the announcements, be the MC for the show, because we didn't need it. Jimmy said we don't need an MC. No, well, yeah, but this makes it
different.
This takes the show from here to there, just because now you've got somebody announcing instead of me just introducing you and you introducing me and me introducing Jimmy and Jimmy introducing.
Well, the greatest person that ever introduced me in my life was Sandy. One day I'm performing.
I'll never live this down.
No, she won't. We're at what was the name of that place? It was
the foundation room.
The foundation room. So we go to the foundation room, and there's a band. Steve Goldwyn's up there.
Wait a second. The foundation room sounds like there's somebody buried underneath it.
Yeah,
foundation room, right?
There probably is.
Somebody ticked off somebody, and they're underneath the foundation
there is
room.
cement in that building,
Right.
don't you know? In the basement.
The guy gets up, and there's people. The singers are trying to sing. My heart goes out to all these people. They want their 15 minutes of fame. So they said, "Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Sandy Kastel." And Sandy gets up there and she does her song, and everybody goes crazy. And and they're going crazy. Now I'm waiting for somebody to introduce me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no BS. I'm on the side stage, looking so handsome. Chicks are just like
all over him.
And Sandy looks over to me, and this is how she introduced me.
If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to. No.
This is how she introduced me. She looked over to me. She says, "Hey,
Mike, come
Mike, come here. Hey, Mike, come here." That was my introduction. And I
guess that's better than, "Hey, yo, man."
Hey, yo.
So anyway, I said, that was my introduction. Remember that day saying?
But he always said, he's the storm that can't be stopped.
That's right.
He needs no introduction. So with that, I gave him none. Anyway, if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show, and I give him an introduction every single morning here. Chef Michael.
I hate that.
We'll be right back after a
coming
message
back.
from our sponsors.
What eggplant parmesan recipe? Yeah, your mother's kazoo.
Why not take all of me?
making every morning brighter. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. We've also got Rich Natoli here with us today. And, he just made a wonderful suggestion, and we're not going to tell anybody because you guys will go out and do it. But, Michael does have a recipe book, and it's an old recipe book. It's called Don't Dirty the Stove. Of course, I think the new book should be called Don't Dirty the Kitchen because I live with this man. Anyway, and I know what he's a great chef, but, cleaning the kitchen is another thing. Michael, we've also got that event this weekend, the first WEMA event of the year, Saturday, January. Gosh, where did I go to September already? January the 17th, this Saturday from 3 till 6 p.m. And you're going to be fixing...
Well, I'm going to do the Italian roast pork sandwiches with the roasted peppers. It's going to be something real nice. And I think Richie should be there. We should invite him as our guest.
Richie should come too.
Richie should come over, make an appearance, take a bow, go into photography.
When is that?
It's Saturday,
From
3 to 6.
3 in the afternoon to 6.
From 3 to 6. Where's it at?
It's Hualapai, just south of Flamingo.
Send me the info. I'll try to get over
At
there.
the Underground Revolution. Yes, it's a salon, and what it is
it's in a salon.
It's in a salon, but it's a college, like a a salon.
And we're giving a scholarship.
Educational place.
Sandy's program.
What?
Sandy's,
Go ahead.
Sandy's WEMA. We give a scholarship, so we're giving a $500 scholarship and a $500 for the school. No.
We are giving a $500 scholarship, WEMA is, to a cosmetology student that's already enrolled in school.
Right.
And Underground Revolution, who is sponsoring the event, is going to be matching that with a $500 advanced education for the cosmetology student. Isn't that amazing? A scholarship. And we're going to have entertainment by my dad's band, Dick Kastel.
Right.
His quartet, and Peter Pavone is going to come out and sing. And we'd love to have you join us, Richie.
Yeah, Richie,
and then Michael's going to be cooking the roasted pork and the bell peppers.
And the roasted peppers.
That is so good. And then everybody can get, we've got 20 slots. They're going fast, so they can get, for $50, they can get a hairstyle, makeup, and a photo shoot. So anybody, especially, young models or people that are, need new headshots, stuff like that, they should come out and do this because it's a great opportunity. Bless you, Michael. And he's just getting over his cold. And so come and check it out. Give me a call at 7... Okay, that's your limit, Michael. Only 5 sneezes per day. Okay, call 702-348-5707. That's 702-348-5707. RSVP and let me know if you'll be joining us this Saturday because we need to know how many people want to get their new WEMA makeover this year.
There's some broads out there really need some help.
And some guys, too.
That sounds like a Sinatra thing. Hey, there's a couple of broads out there need some help, okay?
Was that Sinatra? Didn't sound like Sinatra to me. Do that again.
A couple of broads out there need
Hey,
some
why
help.
don't you sing a song? Do you sing any songs by Sinatra?
Dooby-dooby-doo.
Oh, yeah, that sounds just like it.
It's funny.
They said,
How about Jerry Lewis?
Can I be frank? I said to the lady in the audience, can I be frank with you? Oh, yeah, sure. Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
How about Jerry Lewis?
Who?
Jerry Lewis.
Oh, Jerry. I thought you said Jay Lewis.
Jerry.
Hey, lady. Hey, Dean, you working?
How about Dean?
Oh, this is Dean Martin here. Oh, how about a song? Oh, Sandy Kastel and Company. Oh, yeah.
It's funny. I'm looking at the clock, and this hour flew by.
Zipped by.
I got to tell you something. Sandy and I cannot thank you enough for joining us.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you for
so
having me.
much.
So glad to
My
have
pleasure
you.
to be here.
That flew by. That
Thank you,
hour
thank you,
just
thank you, thank
zipped
you.
right by.
But also, so how did you get involved in doing the show for Vegas Voice? Got to ask you.
Oh, Vegas Voice. Well, I was doing a radio show over at another station, and then I just left there. And Dan, Dan and I knew each other, knew my work.
Dan
real
Roberts,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, and Dan said, "Come and host the show for me over here." And
That's great. He's a nice guy.
Great guy. Great guy.
He won't write about us. He doesn't like us.
Nobody writes about us.
They don't like us.
No, we're not out there doing enough things.
We're not Jewish.
No. But anyway,
kidding
thank
with
you
you.
so much to Rich Natoli for being on the show today. It
Yes,
was
we
a lot
love
of
you. And
fun.
we'd like to thank the Vegas
And-
Voice for allowing him
And
to
the
be
Vegas
here.
Voice, yes. And also, but Rich, do you have a website or something where
I
people
do.
can go and find out about you?
RichNatoli.com. NATOLE.com.
And do
And
you,
Twitter @Rich Natoli with an E. There you go.
and Facebook?
No, I'm not on Facebook.
You don't
I'll
do
tell you-
Facebook?
Well, I don't.
Why?
I was, but I had so many stalkers from when I did Facebook that I had to get off of there.
Stalkers?
It was
Girls?
well, no, just got crazy. It got crazy.
Wow.
Why?
So I took my page down.
Why
and-
were they stalking you?
just from shows, and
Richie, tell everybody.
You know,
when
not
you-
everybody complains about being too popular.
Tell everybody when you're on so they can hear you.
Oh, I'm on it from 10:30 to 11 on Mondays and Tuesday mornings, and then Ryan Silva and myself are on from 1 to 2 p.m. on Friday afternoons.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Natalie. Natalie.
That's all right.
Rich Natalie.
I've been
Yes.
called worse.
And thank you, and
worse.
thank you, Ryan Silva, for everything you do, and John Lindquist, and the staff here at KLAV and Lotus Broadcasting, and of course, a big, 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 big thank you to Chef Michael. We'll see you tomorrow here. And check us out on YouTube this afternoon. We'll be there with all of our TV shows and radio shows. Just check us out at Sandy Kastel and Friends. Bye.
Las Vegas with your neon